Looking for a titillating Friday night? Turn on these gals.
Hi, I'm Colin Camp. I'm Sandra Bernhardt, and we can host Friday night videos as well as any 2-man or 4-man.
Then on Saturday night, Robin Williams.
You say Iran, I say Iraq. Let's call the whole thing a deal.
And Paul Simon.
Check it out.
10 years ago, Honda gave the automotive world a moving target, the Honda Accord. Since then, car makers the world over have taken their best shots at hitting the combination of engineering, workmanship, performance, and price. They've all missed.
The price is down for calling around. So calling is cheaper from town to town. Now it won't cost much to keep in touch on New England Telephone.
New England Telephone has lowered its rates again. In fact, a 5-minute toll call across eastern Mass is up to 30% less than it was in 1982.
With a word for you, New England Telephone.
Part of the NYNEX family.
Do you have ESP? Let's play a little game. I'm thinking of a number from 1 through 5. Concentrate. Can you get it? 1. Still don't believe in ESP? Perhaps winning $5,000 will convince you. Play the numbers game. You may already know what tonight's winning numbers will be.
On Fridays, people are talking Patty Duke.
Tonight on Nightcast, is the fear of flying getting to passengers after increasing reports about air safety problems? Seabrook's main owner paints a bleak picture of its own future. And tonight's top story, Secretary of State George Shultz reveals the battle behind the White House doors over the Iran-Contra scandal. Nightcast is next.
Live from WBZ TV4, Jack Williams, Liz Walker, Bob Lobel, Dave Murray, and Joyce Culhaywick. This is Eyewitness News. Nightcast.
Good evening. Here's what's happening. An astonishing and often embarrassing inside look today inside the workings of Reagan administration foreign policy.
A battle royal is the way that Secretary of State George Shultz described his efforts to advise the president on the handling of the Iran arms Contra aid scandal. He sat alone today, answering questions for 7 hours without an attorney at his side. Shultz testified that other top Reagan administration officials kept him in the dark about key events in the Iran-Contra operation. Shultz told congressional investigators he opposed the Iran arms sale from the beginning because it was an arms for hostages deal. But after the affair became public last fall, then CIA Director William Casey and National Security Advisor John Poindexter insisted the president make a speech portraying the deal as an opening to the moderates in Iran. Shultz said it was very traumatic.
And I frankly felt that I was the one who was loyal to the president because I was the one who was trying to get him the facts.
Shultz accused Casey and Poindexter of trying to use the president to bail them out with inaccurate statements. Shultz says he eventually told the president, "We've been deceived and lied to."
And it was a long, tough discussion. Not the kind of discussion I ever thought I'd have with the President of the United States.
Shultz said he tried to resign 3 times because he had become the target of what he said was a guerrilla warfare waged by other administration officials. Shultz returns for more testimony tomorrow. Tonight, Data General Corporation announces plans to close 3 plants and lay off nearly 1,000 workers. The Westboro-based company says the cutbacks will come as a result of major financial losses in the 3rd quarter, losses of more than $65 million. And the Public Service Company of New Hampshire is now on record as saying it could be bankrupt by year's end. Public Service of New Hampshire is the biggest owner of the Seabrook nuclear power plant. Eyewitness newsman Dan Ray reports the disclosure came in a filing before the Federal Securities and Exchange Commission.
The SEC filing by Public Service of New Hampshire addresses the future funding for Seabrook. Last week, Public Service withdrew a multi-million-dollar bonding request pending before the New Hampshire Public Utilities Commission. At that time, Public Service said it was developing an alternative funding plan. Tonight, Public Service stood by that position saying, quote, "We announced last week that we are finalizing an alternative plan, which we will be disclosing at an appropriate time. That plan will not be a Chapter 11 filing." But the SEC filing on Wednesday said, quote, "It will be extremely difficult to develop and implement such a plan to improve significantly the company's circumstances within the limited time available. Should an adequate plan not be developed, it will be difficult, if not impossible, for the company to avoid proceedings under the bankruptcy code."
They're in trouble. I think what's new today is not the fact that the company is in trouble, but the fact that the company is admitting it so emphatically.
WBZ TV economics editor Bob Goff says Public Service may find new money, but it will be an expensive proposition.
I think new money is probably not going to be had for less than 20%. Because one key bond issue dropped dramatically in the last 7 to 10 days. And I think this is clear indication of not so much that the economic troubles are still continuing, but that we have a real crisis of confidence affecting this company.
Now, Public Service is attempting to restructure its debt on Wall Street, working both with Merrill Lynch and Drexel Burnham. Public Service has 350,000 customers in New Hampshire and owns 36% of the Seabrook nuclear power plant. Seabrook represents 2/3 of the company's holdings. Jack and Liz?
Dan, thank you.
Eastern Airlines pilots are being urged to continue their insistence against flying planes they consider unsafe. Boston-based pilots met today with a union leader who told them Eastern is not the only airline with reported maintenance problems, but the only airline whose pilots are going public with those problems.
What's really happening here is happening every place else where there's a financially troubled carrier that's concerned about bottom line. The necessary number of spare parts, delaying maintenance, and putting a premium on on-time performance. If that continues and the logbooks are allowed to accumulate these safety items, any one of which is not a safety problem per se, but taken in the aggregate when you have multiple of them, it aggravates it cuts into the safety margin.
The pilots' meeting comes in the wake of an Eastern mechanic's claim that he was pressured to ignore maintenance problems. It would seem that increased reports of near mid-air mishaps and other airline aberrations would increase the fear of flying. But as Eyewitness newsman Mike Macklin reports, it appears the faith in flying remains undaunted.
We are a nation of travelers, more by necessity than by choice. And despite the recent rash of safety problems experienced by Delta and other airlines, business and vacation travelers are still taking to the skies as much as ever.
If you're going to go from point A to point B, you just do the best you can.
Travel agents report this should be another record summer for air travel, but they add people booking vacation flights are asking more questions about safety in the wake of recent near misses and other highly publicized airline safety problems.
People want to know exactly what the problems are with a particular carrier, why it may have been cited, what the genesis of a problem might have been that's been in the news. They also want to know whether the carrier is financially reliable, whether they're being investigated by the federal government, and things of that nature.
Getting answers to those questions isn't always easy. A spokesman for the National Transportation Safety Board says the NTSB can only cite the number of major crashes for a specific airline and cannot answer questions about maintenance records or other safety issues. But in the absence of answers to those questions, travelers don't seem to be altering their travel plans.
None at all. I figure everybody else is having the problems. If I go, I go.
For most people, if you're traveling a long distance, you really don't have a choice. Airlines are what it is you need to do. Trains aren't running as often as they used to.
For some time now, the National Airline Passengers Association has been trying to rally support for federal legislation to require the airlines to release their safety records for public review. For now, though, the media is the only watchdog dispensing what limited information can be gathered. Liz?
Okay, Mike, thanks.
Just ahead on tonight's Nightcast, President Reagan appoints a panel to study AIDS, and one New England lawmaker is infuriated about one of its members.
I'm Peter Mead. Coming up on Nightcast, a ran amok. It was predicted by Alexander Haig. Just my opinion.
And later, Bob Lobel has Sports Spotlight coming up.
I used to go crazy. Boy, we were making a lot of long-distance calls. Who knew AT&T would come through with these new calling plans?
Introducing Pro America 2 and 3 calling plans.
Now we save money on every long-distance call we make. We get detailed billing, And we don't need special lines. What's this? Make a phone call. Paper costs money.
From equipment to networking, from computers to communications, AT&T is the right choice.
If you don't deserve the best, who does? Heineken. Satisfy your thirst for the best.
They're coming by train. They're coming by truck. They're coming to the new Mazda Gallery Route 1 Norwood, New England's newest and most modern Mazda dealership. Mazda Gallery has a tremendous inventory of RX-7s, 626s, and trucks, available at grand opening prices. Mazda Gallery, professional and attentive service. Personal attention you've never seen before. Mazda Gallery, a dealership of excellence in the gallery tradition. Mazda Gallery Route 1 Norwood.
President Reagan tonight has a panel assembled and ready to begin work on ways to stop the spread of the AIDS disease. After much controversy over whether a homosexual would be included on the 13-member commission, the president today announced the appointment of Dr. Frank Lilly, an openly gay geneticist from New York. The homosexual community, hardest hit by the disease, pushed for a voice on how the government will handle the AIDS epidemic. On Capitol Hill, Lilly's appointment drew criticism from conservatives like New Hampshire's Gordon Humphrey.
I know from my contacts at the White House that there has been a month-long turmoil, fierce struggle at the White House about whether to appoint a homosexual person or not. The gay pressure groups won. A homosexual was appointed, and I'm disappointed in the president for caving in.
Among the other panel members is Cardinal John O'Connor, Archbishop of New York, and Penny Pullen, a conservative legislator from Illinois. Tonight, a Maine landmark sits in ruins, destroyed in a spectacular fire. The blaze started in the century-old Warumbo Mill just after 2 o'clock. The fire quickly engulfed the Lisbon Falls building, forcing the evacuation of nearly 24 workers. Firefighters from communities throughout the area were called for help. It took close to 4 hours to get that fire in Maine under control. Investigators tonight are looking into the cause of the fire. Liz?
Tonight, police say vandals broke into a West Roxbury cemetery and desecrated a crypt. The incident occurred tonight at St. Mary's Cemetery in the West Roxbury-Dedham line. Neighbors called police after hearing loud noises coming from that cemetery. Police say one crypt was broken into, the hinges ripped off, and at least one casket was removed and damaged. That case is under investigation. In his commentary tonight, Peter Mead says he has a sense of deja vu while watching today's startling testimony from Secretary of State George Shultz.
And I remember saying, well, Mr. President, I don't know very much, but if I'm telling you things that are news to you, then you are not being given the kind of flow of information that you deserve to be given.
For those who follow the inner workings of government, today's Iran-Contra testimony by Secretary of State George Shultz was the most chilling. This is no longer the administration not telling the Congress. What this is amateur hour with our foreign policy. As I was watching this morning, I was thinking, why is it that we weren't warned? And then I realized that we were. After Alexander Haig resigned as Reagan's first Secretary of State, he wrote a book, Caveat. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Isn't he the guy who said, I'm in charge here when the president was shot?
As of now, I am in control here in the White House.
He did. It was stupid, and it was taken out of context. So nobody believed Haig when he said, American foreign policy had become incoherent and dangerous. What we needed was consistency, clarity, and steadiness of purpose. We should have paid attention. President Reagan should have read the book. Nobody asked, just my opinion. I'm Peter Mead for Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
And thank you, Peter.
Yeah, let's check and see what's coming up in the weather. I guess we're going to have hot tomorrow. How about the weekend?
Weekend looks like a 50-50 weekend, but the words for tomorrow are simple: hazy, hot, and humid for everyone except the Cape.
Oh, except for the Cape, so
Cape
that's
will be
the
nice.
place to be. Dave Murray has the HHH and more words and letters in the forecast next.
Hot deals, hot wheels, hot weeks. Now through Saturday at your New England Pontiac dealers, get $500 up to $1,000 cash back on new Pontiacs. Grand Ams, Bonneville's, Pontiac 6000, Sunbirds, Fieros, Firebird. Or choose low 3.9% factory financing and save. Hot wheels. Final 87 Pontiac shipments are rolling in. Hot deals. Now, new credit policies make it easier than ever for more buyers to own hot new Pontiacs. This is one hot week at your New England Pontiac dealers.
To the frustrated musicians of America, this is a dream come true. From accountants to lawyers, they leave their suits behind, pick up their instruments, and jazz it up. Hello, I'm Tom Warden, and on Friday's Evening Magazine at 7:30, we'll visit this scenic Vermont village, which is home to a big band workshop and jazz encounter. Let evening be your guide as we discover New England, 7:30 Friday, right here on WBZ TV4.
When I was a kid, if you asked me what kind of guy turned me on, I'd have said he has to look like a movie star, be about 6 feet tall, have an Italian accent, and take me dancing every night. But I'm not a kid anymore.
Hey.
Hey.
We, staying home again?
We're staying home again.
The more refreshing, more distinctive character of Canada Dry Ginger Ale. Regular or diet, for when your tastes grow up.
Attention car buyers, don't buy anything until you see this. Now, buy any Mazda 626 in stock and choose $900 in options free from Mazda or get $900 cash back. Buy one of these 323s in stock and choose $500 in options free from Mazda or get $500 cash back. Use cash back toward your down payment or get a check from Mazda. Hurry! Get $900 on 626 or $500 on 323 today.
Well, another summer weekend is coming up. You realize only about 5 weeks left before September hits.
That's true.
So the time to enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it.
Well, it's going to be a pretty good weekend coming up.
Good.
One day is going to be hot. One day is going to be a little bit cool. The air is definitely getting moist outside. Everyone tomorrow is going to feel the summer stickies. Let's check in at 11 o'clock. Current temperature, really still not too bad, 70 degrees. Relative humidity is 92%. Dew point is 68. It's sticky out there already. The wind south-southwest at 12. The barometer 30.06. It's rising. High temperature today, 80 degrees. The low, 63. Plus, Thursday is pollen count day. Grass pollen is low, but the real problem is mold. Mold spores running very high. Going to stay that way over the next 2 days. Just not much going on across the region. Temperatures are in the 60s and a few low 70s. It is humid, and the coast and the Cape really starting to see the fog roll in right now. Visibility is down to about 0, but the key is the humidity. Now, the last couple of days, we have been right around 60 degrees, but tomorrow, dew point is going to rise up to about 70 degrees, and that is going to be very, very sticky. We are definitely going to feel it tomorrow. Now, Friday is going to be a hot, humid day. A very gusty southwesterly wind. Don't look for that sea breeze tomorrow. Everyone but the Cape and the islands will be hot. 90-plus degree heat with plenty of sunshine, though. On the Cape, low clouds and fog will cover you all morning long. I think you'll see a little bit of sunshine, though, in the afternoon. In fact, much of the country is hot. Every state in red means readings above 90. 42 of the 50 states. Rhode Island and Maine missed, but all of New England will get into the act tomorrow as this big dome of high pressure continues to pump away right into Saturday, though all the weather eyes are watching this cool Canadian air. This is going to start to come in on Saturday afternoon. That will trigger a couple of thunderstorms, but Sunday looks very nice, cool and dry. Here's our forecast tonight. Hazy, warm, and humid. Some very dense fog around on the coast. 68 degrees tomorrow. Hazy, hot, and humid. Breezy southwesterly winds in Boston, including the north and south shores. 7 a.m., 72 degrees. Noontime, 85. 5 p.m., 90. Inland, 97 to 98 degrees. The Cape, 75 to 80 degrees. Tomorrow night, hazy, warm, and humid, 70 degrees. The 5-day outlook, changeable is the word. Hot Friday and Saturday. Saturday afternoon, some thunderstorms around. Dry on Sunday. A couple of more thunderstorms on Monday. Cool and dry on Tuesday.
98 tomorrow in some spots.
Some spots. Wouldn't be surprised past 128 to see that happen.
All right, Dave. Liz?
We'll all be racing right out there to see that one. Ooh, that'll be hot. Sam Horn, Bill Buckner, those are the names.
And the mold spores. Those are the things we're concerning ourselves with.
Okay, you're going to talk about 2 of those 3
2 of the
subjects.
3. Which 2 out of the 3 will I be talking about?
Who knows? That's what's Friday, because the Sports Spotlight night. Also, Bill Buckner getting his walking papers from the Red Sox. Coming up later tonight, Joyce Galewicz has a review of the futuristic film called Robocop.
There's a new compact sedan, more aerodynamic than the Ferrari Testarossa. A 5-passenger sedan with as much room as a Mercedes 300E. A sedan whose rear wheels actually steer with it through a turn, like the Porsche 944s. There is, however, a point at which the similarities between these advanced cars end. It's called the price. The 1988 Chevrolet Corsica.
I got a feeling for my hometown. I know the streets, I know my way around.
If you ever played sports, you understand the hometown advantage. And that's the whole idea behind Century 21. We know our hometowns because each Century 21 office is independently owned and operated. Put us all together, and you've got the #1 home selling system in America.
I got a feeling for my hometown.
Century 21, the hometown advantage.
Too many low-priced mufflers. Die young, doomed to an early grave. But at Speedy Muffler King, our low-priced mufflers live on, guaranteed for as long as you own your car. You could go elsewhere, but that would be a very grave error. Speedy Mufflers, $29.95 installed. For low prices and high quality, we're right on the money.
Attention car buyers. Don't buy anything until you see this. Now, buy any Mazda 626 in stock and choose $900 in options free from Mazda or get $900 cash back. Buy one of these 323s in stock and choose $500 in options free from Mazda or get $500 cash back. Use cash back toward your down payment or get a check from Mazda. Hurry! Get $900 on 626 or $500 on 323 today.
And on top of all the sports, you have to tell us it's Sports Spotlight Night.
This is true, Elizabeth. We'll get to that soon enough. But basically, today's release of Bill Buckner was also the Red Sox way of waving the white flag for 1987. We surrender. The move allows the Sox to call up Sam Horn, who's been tearing up the International League. For Buckner, the end of a 3-year stint in Boston, for which he'll forever be remembered for one play, which is totally unfair because he had a productive couple of years here in Boston, but the move not unexpected.
I talked to Luke Orman a few weeks ago, and I kind of had an idea that if we didn't start winning, something might happen, and the Red Sox are more or less thinking about next year now. When you're 15 games out, at this stage in my career, just going out to take batting practice and watching games really didn't excite me too much. But I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I thought I was playing well, but the team wasn't.
I called all 25 clubs in the attempt to trade. I felt I owed it that to them, to try to trade him if I could. We just weren't able to do it. I think most clubs felt that they'll wait till we release them and then jump into the picture.
So up the pike comes 23-year-old Sam Horn, 30 home runs, 84 RBIs. The youth movement is on.
I'd like to say that I'm looking forward to being up in Boston and trying to accomplish some of the things that I did here in Pawtucket and hope that it's for the better.
Sam was in Pawtucket, not at Fenway Park. We knew that because there was a tree growing out there, and unless the Red Sox had planted a memorial to their team, it's still McCoy Stadium in Pawtucket. Horn will be in uniform with the Sox against Seattle at Fenway Park tomorrow, but he may not play since the Mariners are pitching a left-hander. Royals and Orioles tonight. Strange game for Kevin Seitzer, who misses an easy one. And then, when the tough one comes down, here's Seitzer. Yeah, wow, what a play. And then, here's an easy one, and he misses this one. Now watch this. Larry Sheets drive right through the legs of Mike Young. Doesn't hit him, but it doesn't matter because he is out of there. This game was so wild. Time to crank out the local. Stop the game. There it is. One of those. Yep. I know it's not ours because the light's working. Right in the middle of the game. I'm sorry. Cal Ripken at bat. He hits a foul ball. Every fan in Baltimore has a chance for it. Finally, the big guy manages to get it. Same at bat. Ripken drives the game-winning single. Orioles beat the Royals 2-1, 9th straight win. They trail the Sox by only a half game. This is true, a half game behind the Red Sox. The Orioles with their 9th straight win. They may never lose another game this season. Right, flipping to the National League, Cincinnati over Montreal. That's the final. Philadelphia beat Atlanta, and San Diego knocked off Pittsburgh tonight. For the first time in 3 years, the Patriots will have their #1 pick in training camp and signed. Bruce Armstrong signed a 4-year deal today, and he'll be at camp on Sunday. They've completed one round of the U.S. Women's Open in Plainfield, New Jersey. Bonnie Lauer and Dot Germain are tied for the lead at 3 under par 69. Not a good day for Pat Bradley. Pat of Westford shot a 9 over par 81. All right, it is Sports Spotlight tonight, right now.
Time to get ourselves together and relive some big moments at Fenway Park this past week. This was not a good week for fans at Fenway Park. It brought out all the tears, and also the Red Sox brought out their offensive guns. They spared nothing in their attempt to harass the opposition. Even the umpires had a tough night at Fenway Park with this shot right there, right off the head. Some nights it doesn't even pay to come out to the ballpark. Now, right, please, this is a victim of the chicken pox. Please do not try these things at home. These are trained professionals. They know exactly what they're doing at all times. And talk about cruel and unusual punishment, Oral Hershiser. Watch this. He hits the guy in the head, and the ball comes back to him, forgets the guy, and throws him out at first base. That's right. Don't do this. Stop the man. Something drastic is going to happen. It's hard to believe. They don't stop making bats like they used to, are they? No, they're not. All right, on to the next play. The next play is by one of those ball persons down the line. He's staggered from that blow. Here's another one. Just down, tripping over the line. Oh, my gosh, it's the monster. This guy's a brave man. It's the pickoff play. It's in the left field. It's the wild pitch. It's the other wild pitch. They're going to berserk, and here they are out there. Look at this. Can you imagine? Why doesn't our team do that? So can you imagine Jim Rice with those little hats on? You know, maybe he can catch a ball in it or something. There's Pablo Bell down there in the left. Get him. Okay, that's fine. Very good. Get him out of there. This is it's a moving story. The Big Apple is the scene. You've heard a lot about how cruel, how mean they are. Here, one of their fellow men injured. And no, they got a deadline. They've got to roll that tarp. But no, he said, stop, stop, please stop, help me. And what do you know? They stopped. They came around, and they carried their fellow worker off the field. It is truly moving and beautiful story. Oh, and this I almost forgot. If you want to be on Sports Spotlight,
I do.
Make a tape. Send it to us. Do
like
what you...
my home video?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's the
in?
idea. That's the ticket. Send us some of your own Sports Spotlight stuff, and
for real people, like just anybody can be on.
Not like us, not unreal people, for real people.
Speak for yourself, Bob.
You real people out there. You can make it on TV. You can
Please.
make it right here.
You'll have a great time. Thank you, Robert.
Send
Jack.
us the tape.
All right, thank you. We're looking forward to seeing you on Sports Spotlight, but right now let's turn to Joyce. You'll be reviewing a film getting a lot of big talk. It's called Robocop. But first, hey, what a great night for a concert on the Common.
Yeah, there were a lot of real people out on the Common tonight for David Sanborn. As a matter of fact, he brought his versatile blend of jazz and R&B to the Common. He has collaborated with everybody from Paul Simon to James Brown, and he always sounds just right. Sounded so good. Right now, it is time to review one of the hottest movies to open this summer, Robocop. It's a very stylish science fiction thriller by acclaimed Dutch filmmaker Paul Verhoeven. It's set in the not-too-distant future. It stars Peter Weller as Robocop. He is part man, part machine. He has been programmed to patrol an urban combat zone.
What are your prime directives?
Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law.
This is Robocop's introduction to the police force. He was once on the force himself, a good cop named Murphy, but he was brutally murdered in the line of duty, and what was left of him was reassembled as Robocop. This movie is a brilliant amalgam. It has a science fiction feel like a futuristic cartoon. It is violent and funny at the same time. Verhoeven's direction packs a wallop. He has given us a really grim vision of the future. Soulless, grotesque thugs on the one hand, slick, steely-eyed corporate execs on the other. And they've been put in charge of law enforcement. It's terrifying and comic at the same time. The opening scene makes the point. In this sequence, the executives are about to see the prototype for Robocop for the first time, but things don't go according to schedule.
Dick, I'm very disappointed. I'm sure it's only a glitch.
Yeah. One of the scariest sequences I've ever seen in a film. This is an amazing movie, and kind of blackly comic, too, as you could
Corporate executives. Yes, corporate executives are leaping for their lives.
Very
Come on,
scary.
Boston,
Don't take the kids to this film.
Leave the children at home, take trained professionals. That's it.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Good night. Thanks for watching.